Asleep again, Fiddle. This will never do. Everyone else has finished their work and gone home hours ago. You're still 3 short of your daily quota. This is not good enough, Fiddle.
Sorry, Mr. Dulsworth. I'll get those seen to right at once.
Let yourself out when you're done. I shall be in my office attending to business, and I don't want to be disturbed.
Yes, Mr. Dulsworth. Someone is calling. Hello.
Mr. Fuddle. Mr. Bertram Fuddle.
Yes, but it's actually Bertram Fiddle.
It's close enough, Mr. Fuddle. This is Mr. Dulsworth's mother. I'm calling you because I hear you have some detectivating experience.
Well, yes, I do have a certain reputation for sleuthfulness.
Very good. I need someone to do some investigating for me. And as I've been unable to get hold of the esteemed Mr. Holmes, you will have to suffice.
Certainly, madam.
Let me be brief, Mr. Fiddle. My son has been acting most peculiar recently. Find out what he is up to and report back to my house immediately.
Good gracious. This seems like the beginning of an adventure. I must finish my work here as quickly as possible. I'll put this in my pocket until I want to use it. Selling soap is thirsty work. Ah! This tea is revolting! The telegrammisery board isn't responding. Why isn't it working? Telegram circuits on. Fuse capacitator fusing. Time to sell some soap. Who seems like a suitable customer? Greetings, madam. I'm calling from Dulsworth Soap Company. Would you like to buy some soap?
What flavour?
Flavor? Sort of cleany, flowery?
I love soup. I'll buy some.
Sorry, madam. I think you misheard me. I said soap, not soup.
Oh, that is a shame. I really wanted to buy some soup.
Well, this soap does make a tasty broth.
It does? Then I'll buy a packet. Thank you.
Jolly good. Hello? Hello?
Hello, Mr. Spongewell speaking.
Would you be interested in a bar of our new, even more adequate soap?
Not today, thank you. I'm quite clean enough.
Hello? What do you want?
Would you be interested in a bar of our new, even more adequate soap?
How rude. Goodbye. Yes?
Would you be interested in a bar of our new, even more adequate soap?
No.
Didn't think so.
Mr. Grotto's residence?
Would you be interested in a bar of our new and improved, even more adequate soap?
Soap? No. Not now, not never. Soap bad. Melts you, it does.
Right. I'll put that down as a no then.
Yes?
Greetings. I'm calling from Dullsworth Soap Company with an exclusive offer.
Go on.
Would you be interested in a bar of our new, even more adequate soap?
Whatever for.
Well, it is very good for cleaning.
Does it remove stubborn stains, like blood, for example?
Probably.
Oh, well then, I'll take 6 packets right away.
Ooh, jolly good.
Guy Hardwood speaking. What do you want? Come on, spit it out. I ain't got all day. I'm an exceptionally impotent person.
Greetings. I'm calling from Dullsworth Soap Company with an exclusive offer.
Fiddle, you old dog. Is that you?
No, most definitely not. Goodbye.
Mr. Quinge is speaking.
Hello. I'm calling from Dullsworth Soap Company.
And?
Would you perchance be interested in purchasing some of our perfectly adequate soap?
Whatever for?
Its unique formula is guaranteed to make you fairly clean.
I don't have time for this newfangled cleanliness in my life. Goodbye. Hello, who is this?
Hello. Sir, I'm calling from Dullsworth Soap Company with an exclusive offer just for you.
Really? Just for me? How delightful.
Yes, it is. For a limited period only, we are offering you a free flannel with every bar of adequate soap you buy.
A free flannel, you say? Ooh, wonderful. I'll take one, please.
Really? I mean, excellent. I shall have those dispatched to you right away. At last, my work is done. I need Mr. Dullsworth to stamp my work ticket. Mr. Dullsworth? Mr. Dullsworth? Wherever could he be? I never saw him leave. Mrs. Dullsworth was right. He is up to something. Mrs. Dullsworth, a formidable woman. Her eyes seem to follow you around the room. A witty, motivational painting. Wait, there's something behind it. It's an Emerson and Burke safety safe. Solid as a rock. What a tidy desk. These are debtor's letters. Mr. Dullsworth isn't as squeaky clean as everyone thinks. Hand lotion. He must like keeping his skin soft. Mr. Dullsworth's stamping machine. Bother! My ticket out of here. Mr. Dullsworth's stamping machine. He must have put... Bother! It's inkless. Mr. Dullsworth's work diary. So this is what he does in here all day. Turn that frown upside down. I wonder if something is bothering him. A photograph of his mother. He must love her very much. A souvenir from the delightful town of Grimsthorpe. Oh my! Sales of soap are slipping. And look at the cost of ink! It's extortionate! I wonder if he's in the closet. These look like the clothes he was just wearing. A secret exit! This must be how he sneaks in and out without anyone noticing. Mr. Dulsworth is slipperier than he looks. What does Mr. Dulsworth need a secret tunnel for? I can see the soap-making machines. I can see the soap-making machines. It's bolted tight. He's got clean away. What could he possibly be up to? A mooring, but the boat's not about. Barrels of unexceptional shampoo. Imagine the lather we'd be in if something happened to them. Oh, extra adequate soap. It smells perfectly acceptable.
Good evening, Mr. Fiddles. Working late again. That lovely wife of yours must be very proud.
Indeed she is, Mr. Tibbs. But this is merely a short-term position until I find myself a suitable adventure.
Of course, sir. I understand. I actually am an author. Romance novels is my thing. This job is merely to pay the bills until I get myself a publishing deal.
Good for you, Tibbs. Now if you will open the gate, I'll be off.
I'm afraid you can't leave until you've finished your work.
Maybe one more. Really? It's like drinking cat's piddle. Oh my! Sales of soap are slipping. And look at the cost of ink. It's extortionate. What a tidy desk. Mr. Dulsworth's work diary. So this is what he does in here all day. Turn that frown upside down. I wonder if something is bothering him. These are debtors' letters. Mr. Dulsworth isn't as squeaky clean as everyone thinks. Hand lotion. He must like keeping his skin soft. Mr. Dulsworth's stamping machine. I'm sure I will. He must have put the ink somewhere for safekeeping. tidy desk. Mr. Dulsworth's work diary. So this is what he does in here all day. Turn that frown upside down. I wonder if something is bothering him. Ooh, red ink. A letter, quite perfumery, and sealed with a kiss. What a tidy desk. Aha! Now I am legitimized.
I'm afraid you can't. Rules is rules, Mr. Fiddles. I can't. A pleasant and uneventful evening to you, Mr. Fiddles.
Evening, Burble! Evening, Burble! Distinct lack of murderings lately. Geoff the Murderer not struck again for a long time.
Let me have a look at that. Obviously a slow news day.
Tell me about it, sir. I've been shouting about nothing for over a year now.
Well, they do say no news is good news.
Not for me, it ain't.
Good evening, sir. You're working late.
Yes, sir. Another convict escaped last night and ran down the sewers. It's like a maze down there.
An escape. How thrilling.
Indeed. Whisked clean away whilst no one were looking.
Was the convict dangerous?
That's not for me to say, sir. I'm just here to fill in some gaping holes.
What a massive clock. But it has stopped working. Dark Deed Jail, where all the worst characters end up. Strange the soap factory is so close to the prison. I must find Mrs. Dulsworth's house and report my findings to her. The Dulsworth estate is at the top of Tormentley Hill, if I recall correctly.
Bertram, over here!
Evelina! Fancy seeing you here.
How are you? I've not seen you for such a time. Off having fantastic adventurings, no doubt?
Not exactly. How are you? Have you been busy?
Not at all, Bertram. There is so little news to report upon nowadays. Since all those dreadful murderings stopped, I've had nothing to do. I'd really hoped that the Geoff the Murderer story would make my name as an independent investigative journalist. But it's been so quiet recently. Even Sherlock Holmes has gone away on an extended holiday. I hope something newsworthy happens soon, or I may be forced to make my own headlines. I'm almost tempted to murder someone myself, just for something to write about.
I'm currently investigating a case for Mrs. Dulsworth. It's nothing much, but I'm hoping it may turn into some sort of fantastical adventure.
Dulsworth, eh? Here's a name I've not heard in a while. I know a few things about old squeaky clean Dulesworth that would shock the likes of you.
Really, madam, do you mind?
Oh, la-di-da. Does your lady friend want some?
Oh, no, she isn't my... I mean, I'm not her...
No, thank you, madam. I'm not a flowery person.
Suit yourself.
I'm going away for a few days. There is something very important I need to do.
Off somewhere nice, are you?
I shan't tell you any more. It is too complicated.
Doing?
I'm protesting, Bertram. My dear friend, Walter, has been thrown into prison simply for being an artiste. Until Walter is set free, I shall remain enshackled here.
Well, I hope you really stick it to the man, Oscar.
Me too, Bertram. Me too.
I remember you.
May I help you?
No one touches my oranges cart but me.
A rather bleak and sinister alley. Good evening, Mom.
Is it indeed? Be off with you. Idling is frowned upon round here.
Such a sour attitude. She has a face like a squashed strawberry.
I heard that.
Locked for the night. I feel like the solution is staring right at me.
Fig. I. Dull. Absolute gibberish. Dull. Fig. I. Bird. You are wasting my time.
I feel like the solution is staring right at me.
Tram. Ham. Dull. I. Bird. Fig. You are wasting my time.
I have an appointment with Mrs. Dulsworth.
I can't hear you. There must be a fault on the line. Can you hear me? Nod if you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you. Very much so.
Those vulgar messages are an eyesore. I'm not letting you in until I know who you are. Fig. Dull. Bird. Tram. Absolute gibberish. Bird, tram, fig, dull. Ah, so you are Bertram Fiddle. Why didn't you say so? You're late.
The Dulsworth estate looks like they've cleaned up with their soap business. They must have made a packet. Good day, sir. That's a sizable hole you're digging.
Yes, sir. Mom has instructed me to dig it, though I don't know why.
Looks like Mrs. Dulsworth is waiting for me. How do you do, Mom?
You're late, Mr. Fiddle. I've been watching your dilly-dallyings. It is the sign of a simple mind.
That was no dilly-dallying. That was top-quality investigative strolling you witnessed.
He so very rarely sits with me anymore. I expect you want a cup of tea.
It's cold and very bitter.
That's how I like it. He has a weak mind, Mr. Fiddle, and is easily led astray. Lately, he has a crazy look in his eyes. I've seen it before, and know he is up to something. I only have his best interests at heart. I need to know what he is doing. Didn't you find anything suspicious?
No, nothing at all. I'm sure your son has nothing to hide.
You are either lying or a fool, Mr. Fiddle. Which is it?
There was nothing of significance in his office, but I will continue my inquirements. I'll be off then. If I uncover any more news, I'll be sure to let you know. I will leave no stone unprobed.
Make sure you do. I'm only trying to protect him, Mr. Fiddle. A mother is a boy's best friend, Mr. Fiddle.
Goodness me, it's you!
Here I am.
Oh my! Don't move, I'll get help. How did he jump that? I wouldn't believe such a feat was possible. There's no way that I can scale that. How did he jump that? There's no way that I can scale that.
Well, 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 Fiddle! I must admit you had me fooled. I never would have suspected you were Geoff the Murderer.
Sherlock, what are you doing here? I thought you were on holiday.
I just got back, and it's lucky I did, you despicable fiend.
But Sherlock, it wasn't me. How could you think that?
Well, let me see. Let's look at the evidence. There's a dead body, and there's you. Arrest that man, officer!
You're quite mistaken. I saw Geoff run off in that direction.
It's a shame there aren't any witnesses to back up your ludicrous story. You, madam, did you see what happened?
Indeed I did, Mr. Holmes. I heard a scream and looked out my window and saw that man standing over that poor dead lady.
Well, thank you, nosy old crone. That's all the proof we need.
Sherlock, you can't honestly think it was Bertram. Look, murderous footprints leading right to that wall.
You're quite mistaken. I saw Geoff run off in that direction.
It's a shame there aren't any witnesses to back up your You, madam, did you see what happened?
Indeed I did, Mr. Holmes. I heard a scream and looked out my window and saw that man standing over that poor dead lady.
Well, thank you, nosy old crone. That's all the proof we need.
Sherlock, you can't honestly look. Murderous footprints leading right to that wall.
Take him to jail, Street.
Right you are, sir.
But it wasn't me. I'm innocent.
If I had a penny for every time I've heard that one, Fiddle. Take him to jail. Poor you, Fiddle. Sherlock Holmes does it again. Looks like you won't be winning any wagers now, Fiddle.
Something doesn't smell quite right, Sherlock. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Watson, you have to believe me. I'm not Geoff.
I know, Bertram. I know.
Send for Gavin. Tell him I need help.
Of course. Hold tight, Bertie.
Oh, shush, Watson.
Welcome to your new home, you terrible, terrible man.
Unhand me, you oaf. Don't you know who I am?
Geoff the Murderer, by all accounts.
Nonsense! I have been framed! I'm innocent!
Oh, everyone who comes in here is innocent. Makes no difference to me.
Oh my! What shall I do? I've got to get out of here. Hello, cellmate. What are you in for?
My name is Walter, and my only crime is being an artiste.
Oh, that's quite harsh.
I'll say, sitting in here, unable to paint, it's sapping me of my will to live. Without my paints, I'm nothing.
Do not give up hope. Gavin, my one-eyed manservant, will help.
Your positivity is upsetting me. Leave me to my gloom.
Mr. Fiddle! Sir, are you in there?
Oh, Gavin! Have you come to rescue me?
Don't worry, sir. I'll get you out as soon as I can. If you have anything I can use, throw it through the window.
What are you up to? I'm not going to let you do anything while I'm standing here. I'm watching you, Sonny. Nothing's going on round here while I'm on guard. I'm on high alert. I shan't desert my post. Don't try anything funny. I'm not in the mood. I missed afternoon nibbles today, and I'm a bit beckish.
What's that? Lurking in that hole. A blood-sucking crimson cockroach. This pipe is loose. Ew. One toothbrush between the three of us. That's not very hygienic.
What? We've been locked in here for a long time.
I don't think that needs scrubbing. No. Such vivid colors. Ooh, this green is very vibrant. That won't work. Ooh, this green is very vibrant. No. No. I am innocent. I demand to be let out.
You ain't going anywhere, you fiend. Here's your supper.
This gravy is a strange colour. It really isn't to my palate. No. This meal is barely palatable. Oh, I'm losing my appetite for adventure. I can feel a faint draft through some of these cracks. I wonder if I can tunnel out.
You tunnel out? What with? And how will you stop the guard from seeing?
Nothing is impossible if you use your head. I'm sure Gavin will have us out of here in a whir. This is a conundrum.
I'm watching you, Fiddle.
This is a...
Don't wake Shirley.
I shan't be able to brush my way through this. My deduction was unfounded. I'm confusimifying myself. Oh, I'm losing my appetite for adventure. A blood-sucking Look how red it is! I don't think that needs scrubbing.
Nothing's going on round here while I'm on guard. I'm on high alert. I shan't desert my post. Don't try anything funny. I'm not in the mood. I missed afternoon nibbles today, and I'm a bit beckish.
The mortar is weak. With the right tool, I can make a hole.
You'd better not be cooking up an elaborate escape plan, or I'll arrest you too.
We have a saying in Peru. A mole digs only when no one is looking.
Extra! Extra! London's most elusive villain, Geoff the Murderer, caught at last! Sherlock Holmes does it again! Little-known explorator found guilty, known as the despicable Mr. Fiddle, his reign of terror is over!
Don't believe everything you read in the papers. What is that? That quick-drying cement is wonderful. Turns rock hard before you know it. I reckon I've filled enough holes now. Just gonna sit here and wait for the clock to strike so I can go home. Soon as that bell rings, I'm off. If I can make a bell ring, you can go home. I can't carry it that far. That rings it. Excuse me, sir. You are blocking my progress.
I am going to cause an obstructification until Walter is happy. I shan't let anyone past.
My orange cart is proper stuck. It won't budge.
I possess immense strength. I would like to move it.
Don't you touch my oranges.
Look at the size of your hole.
I've hit rock bottom.
That is a hefty stone.
I've hit rock bottom.
Curse my terrible depth perception. Curse my terrible depth perception. We have a saying in Peru. A squirrel will always find his nuts. Do you like rock? With all respect, sir, I am not that kind of cyclops. We have a saying in Peru. A squirrel will always find his nuts. We have a saying in Peru.
Look at the size of your hole.
You have a funny look in your eye. What are you doing, Gavin? You are acting most suspiciously. And where is Bertram?
He has to meet someone about...
Tell me, Gavin, is he having an adventure?
No, Mom, most definitely not. Coffee. Very Moorish.
Yes, they are. They're so good, I know you'll want to stay for more. Once you try, you can't say goodbye.
The hotter the oven, the bigger the bread. She's distracted from her bowl. Time to stir things up. Do you like rock?
Don't make me come over there.
Don't poke me. Can't you see I'm busy? My fancy stitching contraption is broken and needs a new spinning wheel thingy. But I've got no idea where to get one.
That rings a bell. Take the cake.
Well, I shouldn't really eat on duty, but one little bite can't hurt. That is delicious. Where did you get that from?
Aunt Fanny is giving it away at the cakery.
Really? I've got to have another. Can you just keep an eye out for me? I'll be back in a jiffy.
Mr. Fiddle. If you have anything I can use, throw it through the window. The mortar is weak. With the right tool, I can make a hole.
No. On reflection, I'd rather not.
That won't work. It's good for getting in cracks. This is for sticking in holes, not making them.
This meal is barely palatable. This meal is barely palatable. On reflection, I'd rather not. This meal is barely palatable.